Hello, hello, hello. This is Temple of Divine with your guide, High Priestess Makita Divine. I'm so glad that you are here. What we want to do on Temple of Divine is to help you to discover, celebrate, and explore the divine in you. You are watching a live stream on Wjzz Cool Tv, the coolest station in the world. Make sure to like, share, comment, and click on any notifications so you never miss a show every Friday at 2 p.m. So, as you know, this is August is Sex Appreciation Month, and we have had a month, haven't we? We had one show that we missed just for because the power was out with these whatever, but we have really had some great time. We started out with the history of sex in the church. We had a great time last week with the pleasure principle, where we talked about noise and toys. And so they brought all the toys that we have available at our disposal as we go on this journey of personal sexual exploration. And so that was an amazing time. And today, as it would seem appropriate on the last day of the Sex Appreciation Month series, that we should talk about the big O. Yes, that's right. We are today talking about orgasms. And the question is, to orgasm or not to orgasm. But before we get into that, let's definitely take a couple steps back just to understand, why is it, High Priestess, that we're talking about sex? Why is it that, what does that have to do with spirituality? And how is that going to help me to be closer to God? What is sex got to do with it? And my answer for you is sex has everything to do with it. But here's why we started in this area of sexual exploration. We started with the pre-launch shows where we talked about the map of consciousness. And the map of consciousness is a tool, like all things are, that was developed by a guy by the name of Dr. David Hawkins. And what he did was he identified, using tools related to kinesiology, he identified the frequency related to different emotions and discovered that there's a scale of emotions that start at the very bottom with fear and shame and guilt and go all the way up to the top with enlightenment. And so if you think across kind of the spiritual realm, enlightenment would be like your Buddha, Jesus, a Shiva, or whoever your highest, most enlightened person is in your experience. They would be up there at the 1,000 level, and down at the bottom in the 20 and the 30s is fear, shame, and guilt. So why is that important? The reason it's important is because you can't go up the ladder, so to speak, without ascending through kind of the bottom, right? It's just like any ladder. So at the bottom, if we're in fear, shame, and guilt, then how will we move forward? The challenge is that in our society, we have a lot of concentrated energy at the bottom. We have a lot of hang-ups about fear. We have a lot about sex. We have a lot of fears about sex. In fact, when I was first coming up with or looking at a Sex Appreciation Month, and I started to Google, I'm just looking Sex Appreciation Month, there's not. There were things like, Sexual Assault Month, or even Sexual Health Month was about, sexually transmitted diseases and how to protect yourself. I mean, everything but the appreciation of sex itself. Now, let me just help you to understand how important this is. Because the sexual energy that we all possess is creation energy. It's not just, and it's very powerful, and everyone possesses it. But if, based on your socialization or your fears or controlling forces, whatever it is that dampens, it's almost like society puts a dampener on that energy with all of the hang-ups and things that we have. Well, if your sexual energy is dampened, then guess what you don't have as much access to? You don't have as much access to your creativity. You don't have as much access to higher levels of thinking and feeling because your sexual energy is suppressed. So when looking at just society as a whole and looking at the impact of just the history, a lot of religious conditioning, a lot of things that are passed down over our family and friends, what we discover is that if I had to pick one thing that's most likely holding you back, it would have to be sex. So that is why we chose Sex Appreciation Month, and that is why this is such an important topic. So orgasm is what we're covering today. And it's interesting because, and the title for today's show was To Orgasm or Not to Orgasm. That is the question. And so you may have heard that and thought, well, of course I orgasm, shouldn't I? But you'd be surprised that many, particularly women, don't. Some women don't. Some women have multiple, and some women, like one, and you're happy. But the point is that there is another option, and that option is not to not even have one. And so that's where we get into things like, so when if you decide not to have an orgasm, then if we say that sexual energy is energy, and you go through a process of being aroused and you don't have an orgasm, do what you do with that energy. Well, thank you for asking that, because the thing you should know is that when you don't use the sexual energy, you then can take that energy and move it into other areas of your life, and it helps with things like manifestation, right? So that's why I'm really excited about this particular topic and this particular show. So I want to remind you, if you have questions or if there's anything that you want to comments that you have, experiences that you like to share, then definitely call me. Call in, and you can call at 313-355-6018. That's 313-355-6018. And I am happy to, if I don't have an answer for your question, which is quite possible, I may not, I can at least help you to get on the right path to have an answer. So get excited and definitely call me, because one of the things I really want to do with this show is start the conversation, right? We want to have the conversations about the things that no one wants to talk about, because when we start talking about things, and when I say talking, I don't mean beating somebody up with the head. I don't mean bring your Bible and beat somebody over the head with it. I mean conversation, dialogue with the intent to understand. When we have conversations about these things, when we talk about these topics with an intention to understand, then we can make progress, because now we can understand each other, right? So I was I overheard a conversation with a woman who is into, more sexually free, and she had a show which was focused on the vagina, and she was having a conversation with someone who and just telling them about the show, and the lady was kind of like, oh, well, I don't think I'm gonna be attending anything like that. And it turns out it was kind of like a side joke that everyone was talking about how it must have been a Christian lady or a religious lady, and there was kind of some funny dialogue around why would that be that religious women would have like this disdain about sexuality and sexual things. And again, this is where the dialogues need to happen, because if you can't even talk about a thing, how can you make progress, right? Because in the conversation, you're beginning to grow and you're beginning to open up your understanding. So that's what this show is about. It's about opening up your understanding. It's about making a decision to begin to be the owner of your own spirituality and your own sexuality, and be okay with that, and recognize that sex, yes, I said sex, is the most natural, most sacred, most spiritual exchange that we have. It really, really is. And so a lot has happened in society to make that dirty. A lot has happened in society to suppress it, because what is powerful, if you can control that which has power, then you have the power, right? So there's been benefit to many to suppress and then package and then market sexuality, right? That's where we get, the sex toy industry. Now, I don't have anything against it, but or sex industries in general are come from people's, because we're not open to those things, and those things that we're not open about that we still desire, then we kind of do on the down low. So that's what's made it dirty, but really it's not at all, right? So with that, I want to just dig a little bit into our topic and just talk a little bit more about it. And I'm excited to even approach this topic because we have a very special guest that is joining us right now. Come on in.
Hey.
Hi. Wherever you want, honey. Where you want to sit?
Hey.
Listen, remember that story I just told you about that conversation? It was on Miss Diamond Tamika Davis's show. I was telling them about I was watching your show yesterday.
Oh, were you?
And you were. It was that episode where you were you said you had mentioned something about the vagina monologues, and you were, to a lady, and she was like, "Oh, I don't think I'll be coming to that." And it was like,
right.
"Oh, it was probably a Christian lady." So I personally had a lot of fun with that because I was like, "Okay, I know exactly what your problem is," because I used to be one of them religious ladies, and I know what you're talking about. Right. So anyway, get excited. Okay, where's my camera? Get excited. Our guest is here, Diamond D.
What's up, everybody? Hi.
She brought the energy.
Hey.
Yes. See.
What's up, everybody?
Yes.
It's all raining outside and
I
stuff.
know
We
it's
got to
all
bring our own
raining.
sunshine.
That's
Bring
right.
our
We got
own
sunshine here
Bring
today.
our own sunshine.
Yay. So I was just setting this perfect timing.
Okay.
Because I was just talking about the show and how we got to talk about sex and Sex Appreciation Month and everything,
wonderful.
Right? So now we get to the good part, okay?
Juicy.
Yes, juicy. We're talking about it's wet outside. And,
I know
okay?
it's all wet outside.
So definitely. So I am so excited for you to be here today.
How expressive do I get to be?
You can be as expressive as you look.
Okay.
You know what? This is Cool TV.
Oh, okay.
And you can be not as expressive as WDDS, but you can do your thing. Do your thing. So what I was sharing with them is to orgasm or not to orgasm. That is the question. And how, some people have orgasms, some people don't have orgasms, some people have multiple orgasms, some people had no orgasms and channel that energy somewhere else.
Right.
So why don't we start by just telling us, how did you get on this journey of sexual freedom? I read a little bit about your bio about just the sexual healing, and that is so needed, like with so many people. So why don't you share with us just your journey, how that happened, what was it like for you? Just tell us.
So, I was a bit of a nerd growing up and everything, and kind of, not really outward and everything, and kind of awkward and that whole thing. Mm-hmm. So, like, blooming came a little bit later, but I did experience, like, sexual molestation as a young person through my stepfather and a couple other dudes in the community. So even when I began to step into my sexuality, there was some trauma to try to get through. And I found that you kind of take that energy into your relationships, right? And it's difficult to open up. It's difficult not to be guarded and all that stuff. So fast forward to college and falling in love and having kids and getting married, and I felt like when you're in marriage, your bed is like this playing field, and so everything goes. Right. And because you have this marriage, which should be based on trust and acceptance and all that stuff, you should be able to try a lot of stuff. So I was really able to be sexually free, but some of it was a little intimidating to my partner sometimes.
Now let me ask you this: what is your religious background?
I was raised as a Christian. However, I have grown and evolve to a more global
Okay.
view of spirituality.
Okay. So now I love what you're saying. So when you were married, were you Christian at that point? Did you have did that affect how you felt about
Absolutely.
what you were doing?
Absolutely, because I was reading the Bible, and the Bible say, if one person in the household fall off, just pray up a little more for them. Just
Mm-hmm.
going on and just hold it down for them.
Mm-hmm.
And you supposed to, hold your husband down. He's supposed to come like right after
Mhm.
God. And
Mhm.
I was like, oh, I can't. Kids and everything.
I know it's a lot.
Oh
It's a
my
lot.
Lord!
It's a lot.
I was like,
It's a lot.
I can't. I don't know if I
Mhm.
could do.
Mhm.
Oh,
Mhm.
So yeah, it was restricted.
Mhm.
I couldn't live in my true spirit. I couldn't live in who I was.
Mhm.
And I'm not gonna lie. Maybe 2 years even before the divorce happened and all of that,
Mhm.
I was singing and say yes. If I tell you what I really need from you,
Mhm.
would you still say yes?
Mhm.
And I remember that's one of my favorite songs because it moves me in a certain way. And I remember this one time I was singing it in my living room, and it just like the energy of it just took me over and
Mhm.
like had me down on the ground crying before it was over, and I knew like I was gonna need to sacrifice some stuff in my life. I just knew it. I just knew it, and I didn't know what it was gonna be, how it was gonna look. Ooh, but baby, when it's time to send you through, when it's time for God to write your testimony, okay? Ain't nobody ever ready. So I we got a divorce. It was ugly, like fighting and just all kind of crazy. I mean, all kind of crazy. That's a whole nother show. To all kind of crazy that you go through in love and trying to maintain in your Christianity and how we got to look a certain way, and then
Girl.
all of a sudden folks ain't sitting together in church, and one person ain't even come no more, and it got tore up. It got tore up. So it was one time during this divorce separation period where the judge hadn't actually banged, but we're not in the same households.
Right.
I won't go ahead and live your life. I was like really, really super depressed, and I took some pills, and I thought that perhaps it would just, be easier not to be fighting, which was a poor decision on my part. It was a poor decision. That's a temporary solution. I mean, temporary problem. Him being whatever I'm going through is a temporary problem.
But in the moment, it's so real.
It
for
is,
you,
but
right?
it's temporary,
Right,
and
right.
the solution is not appropriate to it. The solution is quite permanent. The solution messes up a whole bunch of other stuff. So
Right.
we have to think about these things
Yes.
even as we are going through.
Yes.
But the universe, Lord God, Gaia, all y'all was on my side. My cosmic council, my universe allies, all of them was with me because my dumb ass had took some herb-based sleeping pills. I didn't know, but thank God he was on my side.
So you're saying you were suicidal? At that
I
point?
was,
Okay.
and so I had called him and told him to come get the baby, and he don't need to be here, or whatever.
Right.
And he came over, and sure enough, I had passed out. When I woke up, to my surprise,
You woke up. Yay.
that part.
Yay.
But then I went to the bathroom and realized I had had sex.
Okay.
So there's a certain amount of shame that comes with that.
What do you mean though? Do you mean that
I mean that
you
that
someone was
motherfucker sexually
there?
assaulted me. That Negro
Oh,
had did what he should
your
not
ex.
have done. Yeah, That's what I mean.
Okay. Okay. I didn't know if it was like kind of a
Right. No, I was trying to be nice.
single.
We're gonna be clear.
Okay, no, let's just break it down
Okay.
because somebody, because I'm gonna tell you what, Diamond, somebody out there watching this
Mm-hmm.
is going through the exact same thing,
Mm.
and they feel like they're alone, and they
And
feel
you're not.
like that there's something that's wrong with them, or there's
It's not.
something that's going on, and so this dialogue is to let you know that you're okay, and that you'll get through it. That's what
all
this is
him.
about.
That's all
Right.
him. You hold him accountable for
Right.
his actions. Okay,
Exactly.
fully.
Exactly.
And I'm not gonna lie. That was like a devastating time in my life. Like I woke up in the hospital and did their little exam and everything. And it was like, look, you can either sign up for this day service or we just gonna go ahead and commit you. And I was like, damn. And I was like, I must really be in a bad place.
Mm-hmm.
And so, of course, I signed up for the day program. And ladies and gentlemen, I would get up early in the morning and send my children off to school and fix breakfast, and then I would be collected by a short bus who would transport me over to the hospital, where I would spend a few hours a day in circles and support circles and in craft rooms and learning stuff. Not all of it to go to waste, but it was a lot. Then I had to get back on the short bus, be dropped off at home, and then begin to cook dinner and act as if everything was normal.
Oh, I missed my station ID. Okay, I'm
go.
just
There we go.
enthralled.
There
I'm
we
just
go. Go ahead.
enthralled. But you are watching Temple of Divine, broadcasting to you live on Wjzz Cool TV, the coolest station in the world. Live on Facebook, YouTube, and other top social media stations,
Yay.
channels. Please make sure to like, comment, share,
Like,
because
comment,
you know
share.
you never know
You never know.
who in your circle
Could be
is
blessed
going
by
through this very exact same situation
There you go.
and could be really helped by this. So
Yeah.
definitely share and click on your notifications, because you know every Friday at 2 p.m. you need to be checking in here to learn how to be free and discover the divine in you.
Yes.
So with that,
Yes.
continue. Please continue.
Yeah, so waking up in the hospital, realizing I had these options. Okay, fast forward, managing life. Okay, kids, and just kind of getting through that. So that was like just a really difficult situation. And then, the ex would do some stuff with the house that he wasn't supposed to do, and then
It was
that would
ugly.
be- it was baby, man. I tell you.
So how did you find the sexual healing? Like what was kind of like that first moment where you're like, oh, I can heal this myself. Oh, because I feel like people think that God can't help you if it's like a sexual thing, that must not be God, that must somehow
part of
be
you.
dirty or whatever, when really that's all there is.
Oh, wow.
So tell me, how did you make that connection, and what was that like for you?
So after the divorce, I went to Specs Howard and did my little producing
Okay.
thing and learned how to do all of that and got involved with the vagina monologues a few years ago and did it, and just like to be expressive about our vaginas and just the power.
Vagina. We said the
Vagina.
word like out loud. Yes,
Vagina.
vagina.
Yes,
Okay.
vagina energy, vagina
AKA
wonder.
pussy,
yay.
AKA
Ooh,
coochie,
yeah.
AKA
Ooh, ah.
Whatever you wanna call
the
your
punani,
thing.
yeah. My
Right,
daylily, hey.
Hey, I like daylily. Okay, I got a new
Yes,
name.
There you go. Yeah, so that was fun. What was we talking about?
I don't know.
Okay,
We
the
had so
vagina,
much fun.
the vagina monologue. So I
Right.
started the vagina monologues a few years ago, and then that was just like great, just to be able to just kind of go into that energy, and then just kind of that helped me to start to find my way and find my voice. It just kind of was a space, and so I did it the next year, and then the next year COVID happened, and it was like, oh no, lockdown, and I totally missed it. I missed it. I didn't even know how much I missed it. And so that's why this year I decided, well, I'll just produce it myself. I need it back in my life.
Good for you.
And from that, a lot of healing and talk of other women as we gathered for rehearsal, there was experiences of the same thing. So during this time of doing the vagina monologues and finding that energy, of course I'm dating, right? And so in that dating and just, that's a whole new energy too, right? And so you find that it's not going to be, I can't get dick the way I used to. That's the reality of it. So
what you mean you can't get dick the way
like, you know, you just can't roll over and get dick like you used to. You just can't. I can't get dick like, you know, I used to. I got
roll over and get dick. That's some married women can't even roll over and get dick.
Dang.
Okay.
Dang.
I ain't gonna mention no names, but
that's unfortunate.
Right. But I get you. I feel you. I'm following you.
Okay.
I'm following you. Okay.
So so I couldn't do that no more. So suddenly you need to have like skills and, you know, talents and patience and things.
We're gonna turn this to a talent and skill show. Okay, wait a minute. Okay.
I mean, you know.
Okay.
Well, some of the anyway.
Okay, we're going to be extending Sex Appreciation Month for another week so we can understand the 411 on this right here. Okay. But continue. We're getting to the orgasm.
Right. So, you entertain some various parties, right? Because you gotta figure out what you like, you know. You used to have somebody who knew what they was doing. You gotta entertain some
gotta
other
retrain
parties.
them.
Right. Okay. You gotta take auditions. I'm sorry. It is what it is. Okay. You know, you got folks up there singing. They can't sing. They trying to play the instruments. They don't know what they working with. They, you know. So you got to go through all of that, and so in that you find some sort of empowerment, because if I'm gonna be out here, damn it, somebody gonna make me happy while we out here doing, okay, all right, because I need this, all right. I'm tired. I'm gonna tell you, I was tired of being sexually frustrated all the time, trying to be a good single mom, you know, trying to date monogamously a decent man. You know, all that, you can't even come around unless I can see your kids, and then motherfuckers got issues and shit, and they can't meet you. But you scratch my back though. Shit, we can fuck sometime. Anyway, and so we had to get to the level where I had to be real grown about my shit, and it's just gonna be some folks that no, you just ain't gonna come to the crib, and it's all good. But baby, I will see you around the corner over here. We can do a thing or two. I'm gonna meet you at the hotel when the who the what. Okay. We put on a little show right over there. Okay. As the young people say. All right. Okay. We got to do. All right.
You gotta do that.
All right. You got to do what you got to do. All right. I had to feel good. You got to feel good, and it's okay to feel good. It's okay to bust a nut. It is healthy. It is better for you. It keep your mind straight, your skin good, your nerves, your stress down, baby. It keep your coochie from smelling funny. My shit. I don't know how real y'all want to get, but
you need to be real. This is Shock TV.
It smelled funny. It didn't smell like the flower it once was when it was not getting watered, if you will, you know. And so I need to get watered. I needed to water the flower. Okay. So she could return to her state of moist refreshness. Okay. And so all of that. And now we feel way more empowered. And so now we producing vagina monologues. We creating something called the Coochie Chronicles. It's gonna come up. We inviting ladies to write your own story about your own vagina that you have, that you want to share, or you even want to release. How powerful is that? A story you tired of holding on to. Okay.
Now, where can they do that? Where can they do that?
So what you can do is you can look up the group. It's called Project Wow. It's on Facebook. It's a private group, but you can look it up anywhere. Just ask to join. Check out the one with Diamond D as the administrator. Project Wow on Facebook. It's a Facebook group. And there we're going to be talking about how to make your submissions to the Vagina Monologue Reboot. And we're going to share stories that make us laugh and make us scream and holler. And we're going to share stories or release stories that we want to let go of. We're not going to imprison ourselves in a narrative of our pussy. We are going to empower ourselves. Okay? That's
I
what
feel
want you to
empowered
do.
just listening to her. I just like to listen to you talk.
All right, there we go.
So listen, you are I'm gonna do it. You're watching Temple of Divine, broadcasting on Wjzz Cool Tv, the coolest station in the world. We are streaming live on Facebook, YouTube, and other top social media stations. Please do like, comment, share, and turn on your notifications so you never miss a show. Fridays at 2 p.m. We're here with Miss Diamond D.
Yay!
Talking about the orgasm or not to orgasm. So listen, let's talk about not orgasm.
Oh, boo. Okay. But
Let's
okay.
talk about this.
I was in that space. Okay, yeah, let's talk about it. Mm-hmm.
No.
Boo.
So tell me about, because it sounds like you done had your fair share of orgasm, and we letting everyone know it's okay for you to have an orgasm. It's okay for you to say the word vagina and that word you want to name your sister too. My cousin's mom used to call it sister too. But there also, and I would love to just continue to talk about orgasms, but there is another kind of viewpoint.
Right.
So tell me about, I've heard the term sex magic.
Yes.
Talk to me about how that works. How does the transmutation of that sexual energy into other things?
So,
tell me about that.
Sexual energy is pretty powerful, right?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
We can manifest things through sexual energy, and sometimes, of course, many times we're not even mindful of it, but we can do that. So, in really basic terms, what you can do is, in your sexual practice, you can hold back from having an orgasm a few times. And as you are integrating yourselves, you can keep in mind something that you're trying to manifest, but you don't let that energy go. You just let it build up. And you play with it, and you let it build up, and you play with it, right? And then you have a decision a time, and sometimes there's even a little ritual, depending on who you are, where you finally have sex with your desired partner. And you take that energy that you've been building up and building up and building up, and of course this time you are going to release it. You are going to have a nice, wonderful, intense release. However, instead of it being completely physical, now it is metaphysical, as when you release, you focus on that thing that you want to manifest. And if you can imagine, that'll take you kind of outside of your body, which is sometimes something we cannot do as we are having an orgasm, but to allow the orgasm to happen in your body as you are allowing your conscious to be in another space. It is an extremely intense happening, but also you release this force, this energy that allows for you to manifest and pull things forward in life. And so it is wonderful. It's wonderful. It's wonderful. You can also just like have an energy orgasm and build it up and without having sex. So putting them together is pretty
I
awesome
saw
too.
that. In the show notes is a link, but it was the first time I ever seen someone do, the guy, he was doing something to help this woman have an energy orgasm. So she was laying on the table, and he was like moving, like with his hands, he was moving, and you could tell the intensity was just building up, and I was just like, dang, I want one of them. Can I please get a gift certificate? Because I just really want that, what she had. I want what she had.
Right.
So how does that work? Like, is he actually moving the energy?
That's exactly what he's doing.
So he's moving it through the body and everything?
Yes.
Oh my God.
Because we have our chakras and they get blocked. And just being able to open it up allows that flow. Yes.
All right, now. Okay, so now you learned so much. So let's talk about, let's see what having so much fun. I don't know what time
Okay.
it is. Okay, so when we talk about, so one of the things with this show is just really to kind of break through the barriers that hold people back and just let it be okay to experience things like sex. Like for me, okay, so I think I shared this story before, but like for me, because I was always a religious person. Like I was like, I had the Bible. I read through the Bible 3 times, and I could quote scripture, and I wanted to be right, and I didn't want to hurt God's feelings and all this kind of stuff. And so, for a really long time, I was married. I would want to masturbate, but I would be like, I can't do that. That's a sin. That's right. No, and I remember people saying, like, oh, you tell your kids, but like, oh, don't touch that, you'll go blind. I mean, like, I was like all sorts of things. And then I finally got fed up. I was just like, wait a minute. God is everywhere. Okay? Doesn't he see everything you do? Oh, so I'm going to get struck down if I do that? Well, you know what? Guess what, God? I'm about to go. I was like, God, I'm about to take it there. So it's like, because I was so sick of hypocrisy. Right. I was so sick of people saying one thing, doing the other. I was like, you know what? If God gonna strike me down, he gonna do it right now because I'm about to get this.
He gonna strike you down for mocking him and for not living in your truth and for not allowing your true God self to show up and be here in the world. And so we come in all of these many different shapes and sizes and with these different energies, and so that's how we're supposed to be,
not all plugged up. So my question is, like, what is your recommendation to a woman who is like I was? You're just like, you don't know, you think you're doing the best thing.
Right.
It's like there's this stigma, and there's been so much socialization over years and decades. Some of it, I think people don't even know what they're teaching anymore. I think that it just got passed on to you, and you pass it on, and you don't even really understand why you believe half the stuff you believe, right? So I want to kind of just break that apart and just say, forget that. Just what is your experience? What do you feel? What is God saying to you? And forget what everybody else is saying. So how do you help someone get to, because it took me 3 years to even like start talking about spiritual awakening or anything, because I was like, oh, the religious people, that's just not going to be, I don't even want to go there, because I grew up in a religious environment, and so I already know, like in my mind, I'm like, okay, there's those people, I can't help them, but there's somebody out there who's like who was like, okay, this is a bunch of hypocrisy. Where's the real God? Where's the real spirituality? Where's my real experience at? So how do you help those people? Like, what do you say to her? Like, how do you help her or him?
So it's two things. First, in the physical and in the spiritual, there's a response. In the spiritual, it is what you said, and it's super basic. Listen to yourself. Listen to yourself. Don't listen to that other voice that comes in after and corrects everything. Listen to yourself. You know that first voice. The one that even tempts you to do shit that you like, oh no, I don't know if I could ever. That voice. Not the one that comes in and tries to save everything and clean it up and make it look real perfect and real nice for everybody. Who the hell wants that? We want to be real normal. Who wants that? Don't nobody be like, ooh, girl, that dress looks so normal. I love that normal ass hairdo you rocking today. No. So let's keep it real. Everything that's authentic and real is fantastic, right? It is tantalizing. And guess what? If it is here and it is before you, it is not absent. It is not an absence of God, okay? I'm just telling you, all right? It is not. You are here, and God don't make no mistakes. You are what you are. You are who you are. You don't have to be perfect, but you do have to be genuine. You do have to be authentic, and you do have to be accountable to the gifts that He has given you. So show up.
And that's the thing too, is like the what if I feel like the me that I want to be is very sexual? What if I feel like the me that I want to be really likes sensual activity?
Right. So on the physical side, the physical response, is do take baby steps. Take baby steps. If you have a pussy, you should have a relationship with it. She shouldn't be like right here hanging out with you every day, all day, and you ain't got no relationship with her. I mean, beyond having the kids. I mean, beyond maintaining smells during monthly, all that kind of stuff, and going through the motions during menopause. Because even menopause can be, I mean, mine's been going on for a minute, but I'm still really juicy, ladies, so I just want to keep it real.
You can be juicy after
I'm just saying. Touch yourself, okay? Celebrate. So yeah, take baby steps. Do take baby steps. If you haven't touched yourself, it is important that you do that. Okay? Be gentle. No judgment. Why judge yourself? Why add that? What good does that do? How useful is that? So stop. Okay? It feels good. Okay? I've got multiple toys. All right, I can tell y'all all about them. This was one hot thing called the Rose right now. Everybody is getting it. But if you can't do that, I mean, then this is one little thing and the lipstick tube you can take like with you and be real low key. Okay, you can be real low key. I ain't gonna lie. Okay, ladies, listen. I keeps it real with mine. Okay, okay.
Keep it up.
Okay. Look. One time, I was all hot and bothered. I took myself on a date.
What?
I went down to Belle Isle with some wine and whatever else it is I like to travel with. And we went riding by the water, playing that smooth music that I like, that little neo soul groovy shit, so sexy. And we pulled up by the water, all sparkling under the moonlight with that smooth music and my lovely libations. And I reached in my purse and brought out a toy, and we played and ooh, climactically. Oh, I enjoyed the evening.
Oh, now that's a thought. See, you don't have to wait on somebody to take you on a date. You can take yourself out on the date. Okay, I ain't mad at you.
And it was wonderful, honey. It was truly, truly wonderful. Truly wonderful. Truly wonderful. I'm going to advise everybody to go take yourself on a date.
Take yourself on a date.
You ain't got to give it up on the first date, but you know.
You don't have to give it up on the first date.
You don't have to, but if you want to, it's you. Shoot.
Wow.
Right.
That's awesome. So how did you get, so have you always been like this sexually free, or like how, was there some point in your life where you like, hey, I think I like this?
You know what? People tell you like, oh, you so sexy, you sexy. And I was like, I can't do nothing with that.
Thank you, but
right.
whatever.
But then I was still bitter and all that kind of stuff. So, you know, as I began to just kind of be in a space of healing, I don't want to be angry at men. I do want to enjoy myself. I want to enjoy my life. I want to enjoy my body, my energy, who I am. I am a sexual person. Sex feels good.
Sex feels good.
Sex feels good.
Sex feels good.
Okay.
It's okay.
And I'm a bit of a freak, so
it's okay to be a freak too.
I like all. Let's do it. And so instead of being in that space of constantly trying to repress that, just allowing myself in little small increments, just allow myself to show up in different spaces and seeing how that feels. Do a little sexy lingerie show, see how that feels. Do something else, see how that feels. Do private stuff, see how that feels. Try a new toy, see how that feels.
So this is the exploration part. This is a part, like we get to that part where first we discover, like, oh, I'm a divine being. I can
Yes.
do other stuff. I can experience
Yes.
life in all these other different ways that no one's
Yes.
ever told me about. But you're like at the exploration stage. To me, I feel like that's where the fun starts. Like first you discover, then you're like, hey, you're happy, you celebrate.
Yes.
Now you're like, ooh, let me see what's
Right.
So that's awesome. Like that
Yes.
is kind of like the whole. That's what we want to get to. That
Yes.
place where we're like okay with being ourselves.
Childlike.
Yes.
All
Yes.
you Bible thumpers. Childlike. That's what it means to be childlike. To
Yes.
be filled with joy.
Yes.
Joy from the inside.
Yes.
Joy. And you can't be joyous if you aren't in touch and not allowing who you are to flow.
Exactly. It's
Kids
stunted.
don't know how to turn all that off. So they just be like, it is who I am. So
Mhm.
we got to get back to being who you are, right?
Yes. Yes.
Now that don't mean be assholes and litter. That don't mean cut people off in traffic. That don't mean cuss. That don't mean be mean, folks. Okay. Be accountable to yourself. Be accountable to yourself. That means allowing yourself to have sexual pleasure. That means allowing yourself to be in healthy relationships. Let me say that again. That means allowing yourself to be in healthy
Healthy
relationships. Male, female, dog, cats, fish, trees, all of it. All of it. All of it.
All of
All
it.
of
All
it.
of it. Oh, that's awesome. Okay, so you are watching Temple of Divine, broadcasting you on Wjzz Cool TV, the coolest station in the world. Broadcasting, streaming live on Facebook and YouTube and other top social media stations. Make sure to like, share, comment,
share.
and turn on your notifications so that
Turn
you
'em on, turn 'em
never
on.
miss an episode every Friday
You don't
at
wanna
2
miss this.
p.m.
Friday at
Aren't you
2.
glad you tuned
Friday
in
at 2.
today with Miss
Friday
Diamond
at
D?
2.
Get excited.
Friday at 2. Ooh, 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 ooh.
Okay, so we got, what do we have? We have a few minutes, we have like 10 minutes left. So tell us what you got going on, because I know you have a lot of things going on, so we can support you.
Right.
We talk about WOW. What else? We talk about vagina monologue.
Yup. I'm going to be teaching quite a few classes of anthropology, actually.
Anthropology?
I'm going to be teaching quite a few classes of anthropology coming up on campus. So,
Listen, anthropology. So listen, tell me, what is the most fascinating thing that you have learned through anthropology about sex?
one thing that I learned is that men worldwide engage in more gay activity than women. That was surprising to me.
You know, I had read somewhere that it was almost like a rite of passage that men had to engage
Oh,
in
wow.
some type of gay activity.
Oh, wow.
I was like, no, I read that somewhere. I was like,
Wow.
oh, really?
Yeah,
So why do you think that is? Because they're so. I mean, like so
I
many
know,
guys are so like
I
homophobic.
know,
like,
right? I was so surprised when I read that. I don't know. I know as a girl, you play with other girls. That's how you learn. You play with other girls. So I don't know. Maybe boys play with other boys. I don't know what y'all be doing.
They do pat themselves on the behind on those
Right.
football. That's sporting,
All
patting
through
on the.
sport.
Oh, that locker room affair. Okay, I don't know. I don't want to homophobe nobody, but okay. Now that is fascinating. I would be surprised to hear that because I would think it would be the other way around. It would be more of a woman thing than
I
a
know,
man
right?
thing.
So that was.
So how did you discover that? Like, what was the thing that you saw where the men were more?
I was actually reading an article about the evolution of human sexuality. I was for class. So in the reading, it was talking about a number of different things, and one of them they were just looking at different sexual activity in groups worldwide, and that was something that just kind of stood out
Wow. Okay.
to me. Like, wow.
Fascinating.
Okay.
Fascinating.
Okay.
Okay, awesome. So I was I like to call in. I know someone has questions. I know you do, and you know it is completely anonymous. Call 313-355-6018 and get your question answered here. Okay, so go ahead and dial. So so I was doing a little, I was kind of looking up some orgasm stuff.
Okay.
And so I was like, since I have my orgasm expert
Okay.
here, I want to I'm not quiz you, but get the 411 on these different. So I didn't know that there were C-gasms, Y-gasms, G-spot orgasms, sleep orgasms, back orgasms, nipple orgasms, and thinking hands-free orgasms. So tell me about these. So C orgasm, B. I mean, these are probably the most common people know about C orgasms and V, like
The clitoral
and vaginal
stimulation,
yeah.
right?
Like those are pretty much everybody knows
right,
about those, right? Maybe
but
not.
the G,
maybe not. Do you
maybe
know?
no, maybe not. So there are distinctions. There are different orgasms that your body is capable of having.
Mm-hmm.
So you can have clitoral orgasm. That's the C one, where it is strictly from stimulating the clitoris. The clitoris being a pleasure organ.
That's the rose.
That's right. It has over 8,000 nerve fibers in your clitoris. It is there strictly for pleasure. So please,
Did you know that?
please yourself. So yeah, that's what that is all about. And then of course you have a deep penetrating, when you're able to penetrate the vagina, and you can have that V orgasm, right? Getting in them walls. I'm sorry, y'all.
Oh, we got to open the windows up in this mug. I'm sorry.
And then what's the other one?
G-spot
Oh yeah, now
orgasms.
that one is absolutely delightful. Now, but you need a hook dick or you need a special tool.
For all you hook dick brothers out there.
Because your G-spot is like not that far inside, and you got to kind of go up. But if you can get it, I'm just saying, if you can get it.
Right. So your homework assignment for Temple of Divine is to find a
Find it.
G-spot. Find your G-spot. You can find somebody else's if you want to, but find yours.
Get it.
Get it.
Okay. Woo.
So how does a G-spot orgasm differ from the C? Like how do they? Can you tell the difference in how the different orgasms feel?
Yeah. So I don't know, a clitoral orgasm brings in a sort of intense contracting to the vagina, inner and outer, if you will, where your vaginal orgasm usually starts more deeper inside.
Okay.
You know.
Okay.
And then a G-spot. It's I don't know. Mine's be sudden and intense, so I can't even
Sudden
describe
and
them. I can't even
intense.
describe them good. They be like,
We just
what?
gotta go
What?
get
What?
you one.
Whoa!
We just gotta go get us one, okay?
Jeez, man, what are you doing?
Okay, we're gonna. That's your homework is to find your G-spot and have a G
yes,
orgasm.
Yes.
Okay, so sleep orgasms. Now this is one I was like, women do that?
Yeah, we have nocturnal emissions. We have bust nuts in our sleep, right?
Really? I don't think I. It's okay for you women out there who have had this experience. You're okay.
That's
It's called a
right.
sleep orgasm.
A sleep orgasm, a nocturnal emission, if
I
you
know
like,
men
a
do
fancy.
that, but I didn't know women. Oh, okay.
Absolutely.
And then this was one that I was like, what the heck is this? Backgasms.
Now that one I've never heard.
So
of
let me
before.
read this. Let's see.
Let's go ahead and
Backgasms are a term used to describe climax derived from back stimulation. If you've ever experienced orgasm during a soothing back rub or massage, you're not alone.
Oh.
The phenomenon makes sense if you think about it. Relaxation plays a huge role in arousal and the ability
Okay.
to experience climax. And when you are more relaxed than, when are you more relaxed than a
And when you're having a
massage?
massage. How about a footgasm then? Because I know.
Yeah, we may have
I
footgasm.
know, baby. Rub my feet and see what
Okay.
happens.
So this is an incomplete list, apparently.
We need
because it does not have
footgasms, because,
footgasm.
baby, I just want to let you know. The pettygasm is real.
Oh,
Ooh, that's
pettygasm.
what you call it. Ooh, it's real.
Okay. Now, and then we have here a nipplegasms.
Yeah,
That's
well,
a little bit
if
more.
that's lovely. If you can have an orgasm from your nipples being stimulated, you are having extra fun, okay? 10 points for you.
Yeah, I think you need to add an additional party to your exchange so they can just focus on that.
I know, right?
Like your nipple one, your nipple two. We'll have somebody else for this department.
Yay.
Woo! Okay, and finally, let's talk about the hands-free orgasm. Like you just sitting around thinking about some stuff.
And learning that tantric energy.
Yeah, tell us about that. Oh man, we're gonna have to do part 2 for this show.
All right.
We gotta do part 2.
Woo!
Okay, we still got a green light. Tell us. Okay, we're gonna close out on the tantric.
Right.
Let's learn some tantric.
So what we do with tantra is, of course, we just hold on to that sexual energy and we just focus and just hold it into our sacral chakras, our sacral, and we just kind of hold it there instead of allowing it to buzz.
So that's a little bit
it to buzz, and you just hold it there. So if you can imagine having this real exotic, I don't know how visual your imagination is, but a really exotic, sweaty, nasty, wet dream, and you just naked and getting licked and just, let it go there. But instead of you like allowing yourself to have an orgasm, you just kind of hold on to that energy. Just hold
that's kind of like
hold on to what it feels like to be in that space and just to feel that sexual energy flowing through your body. Oh my God.
Well, this has been a hot one. You are watching Temple of Divine with your guy, High Priestess Makita, and our lovely Diamond D. Yay. You've been watching Wjzz Cool TV, the coolest station in the world, broadcasting live on Facebook, YouTube, and other top social media platforms.
Yeah.
Do click notifications and come back on Fridays at 2 p.m. It has been our pleasure, and we're just going to keep chatting here. So, wow.
Yay.
This has been a great show.
Yay.
Don't you think it's been a great show?
Yay.
Okay. I am so glad that you were here with me today.
Yeah, I'm so glad I got to make it.
Yes. This has been a great. I love your energy.
Thank you.
Now tell us about your show. You're on WDDS.
Yeah, WDDS.
Okay, so tell us about your show,
So
Aura Gasms. What's that about?
The Orgasm Show, we try to keep it sexy all the time. We have fun. I love having guests in the studio. But we usually tap into stuff for your body. So we have a freaky fruit or a sexy spice. We talk about something that helps your body. So we talked about honey and how you can incorporate honey, how it has nitric oxide in it, which helps to increase men's testosterone production levels, and also opens up the flow of the blood vessels so that you can get the yang up, if you will. And so we talked about that, and so usually I put something in there and then we do like dirty mind questions, something to play with your mind, and then different topics. We might have some exercises that we do. We've been working on our root and sacral chakras. The last show we did something for our solar plexus, so we'll probably move up to our hearts.
Oh, awesome!
Yeah,
and how did you get the orgasm, the oral part? Was that just kind of part of your spiritual awakening, where you just
that's meditation and just being spiritual hippie?
Awesome.
Yeah, it just came to me because I was thinking of it because I had the show and paid for it and was like, I don't have a name yet.
I know we all go through that. Yes.
Yeah, so it came on just like, wow,
I love the name.
Right.
Yeah.
Like, okay, let's do that.
Yes. And I love that you're providing information for people too, because they don't really know how to take care of yourself almost. It's like
do that.
we always, especially as moms, I feel like, you're always running, you're always taking care of everybody else, you're always doing everything, you feel guilty, doing anything for yourself, and so you don't even, and then there's so much information out there. It's like when you do have a chance to sit down and look at something, you're like, okay, I don't know if that's good or not. I don't have time to figure it out. I'm just going to do this thing over here that I've been doing. So it's really good that you do that.
Thank you. Then this is an awesome space, awesome platform for people to be able to, come out of their shells and be able to listen. Okay, and quietly listen. Oh, okay, that's what they're talking about. Oh, okay, that's all right. Oh, okay, girl, I did that. Oh my God, okay.
I'm okay. I'm not going to hell.
Okay. I'm
You're
gonna be
not
all
going to
right.
hell. You're not
I'm gonna
going
be
to
all
hell.
right. Oh, okay. Oh, okay. It's gonna be all right.
Very good. Very good. So awesome. Let me just check one thing here, and I think we'll be good to go. But I want to make sure. So tell us what is on the horizon for Miss Diamond D. What do you have going on?
I'm just really looking forward to 2023 being able to produce Coochie Chronicles.
Coochie Chronicles. What was that about?
Being able to tell those stories, those brand new stories of women of color that are going to be captured through Project Wow.
So is that like vagina
Right.
monologues, only just kind of like different stories?
Right. So it'll be like the vagina monologues. It'll be,
Oh, okay.
it'll be women of color stories instead of everybody. It'll be
Oh, I see what
women
you're
of
saying.
color.
Do you think that women of color have a different,
A unique journey. Absolutely.
mhm.
Absolutely.
Okay, cool.
Hmm.
Well, thank you.